Welcome back to Crown's Crypto Cave and invoking the power of Goat Jesus behind me. I want to wish you, hey, happy Sunday. Yes, happy Sunday. It is indeed Sunday. I've got the days right today. But we also have a little bit of movement on good old Bitcoins over here, the good old corn. So getting the live scene right here, right now. We're going to be talking about a little bit more long-term ideas during this, but also talking about some short-term ideas as well. Anyways, I always want to be adamant with first stating, hey, as long as you're above 6150, I'm going to sound like a fucking broken record, but as long as you're above 6150, don't really want to be having some major downside exposure. You know, yes, I can look at this chart and say, yeah, it's not the prettiest chart of all time, but until you actually break this area down around here, 6150, don't really want to be too damn bearish, as you might just end up like good old, you know fucking who, that monotonous guy who's just so lovely. Anyways, while we do have a little bit of action this morning, there are a few things to be aware of coming up. So this ascending triangle that we've been living under for the last, what was it, like 3-4 months, did kind of get broken to the upside. Not really. Basically just going sideways, not breaking any major moving averages over here, getting held by the yellow 20-minute exponential moving average the whole damn way. Then coming back, popping back down earlier this week to retest this area right here, and having a reaction off of it so far. Now, is it a good reaction or a bad reaction? I mean, that would really be a point of that would be really your own opinion on that, but hey, I'd say it's something so far. So as long as we're kind of respecting this, we do have something new forming, is what it looks like to me, and this is exactly what happens when you don't necessarily have a strong reaction when you get to the edge or apex of a formation like we have with this ascending triangle over here. So what happens now? Well, we basically go sideways for a while, and we're going to figure out something new pretty damn soon. Now, of course, having a reaction off this area right here does still say that the bulls are kind of defending it, although when you look at the volume characteristics down around here, you can see not the most impressive defense of all time, but hey, it's all we got for now. So again, a little bit of movement coming into the early morning hours, but again, no major levels broken. 6360 still the resistance to fuck around with, but again, it's not a strong resistance. It wouldn't take much to really break it. You did put in a small amount of bearish divergence on the last 4-hour couple double top over here. I mean, do you want to call it a double top? Not really. We're really splitting hairs with this one, but hey, it looks like we're gonna get another try at 6460 again, probably later today, and whether or not that gets rejected is going to decide what happens for the next probably few days, I'd imagine. If you can take out 6360, and this is probably the more important part of a video like this, as I get rid of this descending triangle line right there, then our next resistance to kind of mess around with would be this guy right here, about 6460. So about $100 higher. So a tradable event, in my opinion, don't really see much stopping you from there. So if we do take out 6360, I'd probably take a long myself. By the same token, if you fall down from here, you actually do have a small support right around here. It's very, very tight in there, very tight, very sexual, but not very strong, to be quite honest. Again, the range is getting so damn tight over here that it doesn't take much to really blast it out and about either which way. But hey, if you were to break 6360, you don't really see much stopping you from this former area right over here, about 60 to 80-ish area. And if you were to break that area, then the next one that would follow would be 6250-ish area. Again, I'm neither bullish nor bearish on any of this thing. I'm boorish, really, is what it comes down to. But I'm just playing ranges. All I've been doing is trading options. I just don't see too much opportunity in trading, spot underlying right now. So I've just been, putting on the strangles. You guys have been watching this position just slowly get better and better. As I haven't even really built it in a while. But just waiting for another hopefully move is my plan, and then I can add either, if we move to the downside, I could add some more puts. If we move to the upside, I'll add some more calls. But again, sorry, I should also say, Jesus Christ, man, I never talk about my own shit. Hey, if you're interested in actually learning how to do options and learning how to actually trade a market that's sideways, sorry, not actually trade it. That sounds really arrogant. But just if you're interested in learning how to make money in a sideways market, not caring if it goes up or down, the options program was made with you in mind. So now, of course, it's very, 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 very heavy information. So it's, it's not to really be, it's, I feel like with technical analysis, it's like easy enough to learn. Like you can kind of dabble here and there and pick up like good things here and there. Learning options, it's going to take a little bit more dedication. But hey, if you're interested in that, again, the link is in the description of this video. Anyways, back onto the technical analysis over here. So if you were to break out to the upside over here and tap 6460 and even break it, well, what would be looking at then? Well, then things start to get a little bit more interesting because yes, there is a resistance right around here, but again, just like what we're currently dealing with right now, not the strongest one, but hey, it is worth pointing out at 6640-ish area. If you can take out that area, then yes, 6750 is the next area that I start looking towards, and that's where things start to get interesting. Why? Because that is the greater resistance of this overall of this overall downtrend line over here, the basically this ascending triangle that everyone's been looking at for the last over 11 months now. So overall, if you could actually take out that level, which would coincide with that 6750 area, or sorry, actually now it has gotten so, it's progressed so much that it's actually now at the slower one, funnily enough. Wow, how times change, but it would still be relevant. But hey, if you were to take out 6630, then actually you would officially be taking out this guy right over here, and that'll be the first time that you've actually taken out in the last 11 months. So that would be a change of behavior just by the definition of it. But we have some questionable things now going on with this. Is this really a descending triangle or a falling wedge? I think it's actually neither now. I think we have something completely new going on. Why do I think that? The volume characteristics going on over here tell me that something new is forming. We have a change of behavior just by the measurement of that. This action over here is something looks distant from it. It looks distal from it. So to me, it's likely this actually does increase the likelihood that Bitcoin does go sideways for quite a while, and which for better or worse. I mean, again, I'm not trying to say I'm not saying that's necessarily a good thing. It's gonna be more of the same for the next 2-3 months perhaps. So hey, I mean, but then again, just play some fucking options. But hey, if that were to happen, or sorry, if that were to happen, what is it gonna likely look like? Well, if I could use more alliterations, that'd be great. But going on over here to our Bitstamp chart and putting on the weekly, well, what I'm looking for is this this dotted 10-year logarithmic trend line, the one that the arrow is pointing towards. That's going to actually come up to meet the current price action as it is rising over time. At the end of December 31st, actually, it'll have a low of at about 6,000 area. So if Bitcoin is able to kind of keep it in this area and not drop below that 6,100 level that we just spoke on, well, then at some point in time, this will actually start to meet up with it, and it would actually make sense from a technical analysis perspective that sideways kind of scenario becomes a lot more likely. Now, of course, right here, right now, we're not quite there just yet, and I'm actually going to show you some things that are going to go directly against that in just a second, because I want to represent all sides. But hey, that's what it would likely look like, and that's what I'd be looking for overall. Speaking of the weekly, we do have a new weekly coming on later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Weekly is not going to, I mean, unless we get like another $100 rally, or sorry, about $150 rally, $160 rally up to about 65.30-ish area in the next 12 hours or so, whenever 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is. This weekly is not going to end too nice. Again, getting held back by all major moving averages over here. Well, not all major moving averages, but but still kind of being held by all these guys that we've been getting progressively worse below. I do want to check to see tonight. It's going to be very important to me to see how the yellow 21 exponential and the green 55 exponential react over here. Do they continue to gain momentum away from each other? Do they continue to have that divergence away from each other, so to say? That would be pretty damn bearish in my opinion, because again, the only time we've ever seen these two cross in Bitcoin's almost 10-year history, or actually now official 10-year history, was right over here in 2014. Very similar situation where you actually had the cross over here. You tested over here, which actually we have done as well, the 21, and then you go sideways for about another month before falling off the face of the earth into the next red dildo capitulation death hole. So as you can see right here, we got the cross over here, and you test it over here, and could be working its way now. So again, that's something that I do want to be aware of. Definitely pointing more towards a bearish camp. Getting on our oscillators over here. Weekly stochastic still kind of heading down, rejecting across the upside actually, and weekly RSI in the bearish zone as well. Again, the only time that Bitcoin's ever really found comfort in the bearish zone, and when I say comfort, I mean like a not so comfortable situation. Like when someone grabs your leg, like I fucking hate that shit. It's so awful. It's so fucking awful. It's like, what are you doing? The fuck. But what was in 2014 over here. So again, RSI, kind of telling you who's in control, who's not in control, and it would look like the Bears are looking to take control pretty damn soon. My proprietary indicator over here, which is now the Jewel, known as the Jewel, it is so much more than the stochastic now, is actually telling us that we're going to come into some support. But again, if we actually had a full on breakout, this would lie to you, and it actually likely come down to this white line over here. Okay, so what else do we have to talk about? Yeah, let's actually put on the accumulation distribution indicator, as I'm curious what that one's going to say. Again, the net delta for Bitcoin, as we did get a new tick on the monthly, and we've been monitoring this as it goes forwards. And yes, we are now sloped down. This week has been sloped down on the accumulation distribution indicator. Again, if you're in the technical analysis program, please do take a look at that, because you already know where I'm going with this one, but I only care about the slope on this one, and I'm not necessarily a big fan of that right there. It's not a death sentence just by the nature of it, but it certainly isn't. It's not the best thing either. Let's go check out what the monthly says as well. I just want to show that the monthly is quite nasty indeed, as we did get a new tick on the monthly chart, and the last time that we've ever even been in the red zone was over here in 2014, when things really did start to get bad. It was right here where we started to start to stick poorly. Jesus Christ, man, can't even speak poorly as well. But again, I don't care about anything other than the slope on this guy, and the fact that this is the most aggressive slope you've ever seen since 2014. Again, not good at all. But hey, as long as you're holding above this yellow 21 exponential moving average over here, which again is my litmus test for generally bullish, generally bearish, I don't really have a reason to be like super bearish around here. And again, where my sort of background is in being, my God, that's hard to say, is in being a market maker in equity options. And so that means just basically like, regular stock options on major exchanges like New York Stock Exchange. And these stocks, they have like years and years and years and years and years, decades really of information. So you can actually look at the monthly, and it gives you quite a bit. And the 20-minute exponential, this yellow line right here, is my test for generally bullish, generally bearish. And the fact that Bitcoin keeps on fighting it off, and the fact that it didn't break it when we start the new month, was it like Wednesday or Thursday? I forget. But the fact that the Bears didn't break it back then, when they were so close, ever so close by a couple $100, is interesting to me. It's very interesting to me, because you'd imagine that they would have really fought for it. Instead, no, still holding above it, and perhaps you do get something like this over here, where you have the 1, 2, 3, then boom in your face. But again, am I really leaning towards that? Not really. It doesn't matter if I'm leaning towards it or not. The problem with that is that you're not going to know if that's going to be legit or not until you really start getting, well above about 7,400 and preferably above 8,000. Is where that'd become a lot more interesting. The 10 simple moving average, that red moving average, is officially coming in around 74.34 anyways. So got a lot of work to do, but by the whole fucking measurement of it. But hey, that's what I'd be looking for, and this is a monthly, so things do tend to take their time. Again, you can see the whole market cycle in this baby. Like, you really started to go super bear once you broke the 21 over here. Then you started to go super bull after you broke it to the upside over here. 3-year bull run. Tweets are top dildos right there. Drop down, get your blood eagle on over here, and 6,000 to 12,000 consolidation. Break that down, and then a slow dribble along this 21, which on very low, extremely low volume. Which, remember, that is measured in coins traded, not dollars traded. So this action over here, which is at a price point like double the high, is significantly that's significantly more volume compared to what we're doing over here. So again, looking at this, I'm not, it's not the most confidence inducing, but hey, we can kind of see both sides. We can kind of see both sides now. And I guess the bullish side is just saying like, hey, I guess we will go sideways now. If you want to get actually bullish, I need to see, Jesus Christ, I feel like I said that with an accent, but I need to see this get at least above 7,400. Yes, we did speak about 6630 breaking the overall descending triangle, but I think that we're not really doing that anymore, to be honest with you. I think everyone's kind of looking at the wrong thing and not really realizing that you have to interpret these indicators, especially volume, in the context of the price action, which does not necessarily make sense for that formation to be honest. Doesn't make sense for a falling wedge either. So Super Bowls don't get too excited either. But hey, I'm just saying, hey, just calling it out like I sees it. Still got the 2-day dildo death cross over here, the green and the purple. Still living below all major movement averages over here, using the 10 simple as resistance. Very low volume, kind of thrust back up as you have a reactionary bounce to what it looks like right here. But hey, guess it does have kind of a chance. I mean, there's always a chance. But hey, looking at our oscillators, stochastics looking like they kind of want to lose momentum, but again, they're so tight right here. It takes a smallest of move to really fuck them around. So are they that helpful? No. Well, in fact, sorry, they are helpful, but not in the way that people think they are. Right now, we can see that it's just coiling along the neutral to slightly bearish zone. So to me, that would be more neutral than anything. But if you had to put something on it, you'd say, yes, it's a little bit bearish. But hey, that's all I have to say about that. 2-day RSI over here. Same sort of thing, neutral and bearish zone kind of consolidation, but I really want to see it like do something a little bit more obvious before making a decision. Down here, looking like we're coming in some sort of support, but again, if you have like a true breakout or breakdown, that's not going to be fucking right. 3-day dildos over here. 3-day dildos are quite interesting to me because yes, we did salvage yesterday's 3-day dildo close above the purple 200 exponential once again. We have not both opened and closed a 3-day dildo below the 200 exponential ever since 2014, and it looks like it's likely to live another day. And sorry, let me just show it in 2014 over here. Once you started both opening and closing, not just closing, but opening and closing 3-day dildos below this area, that's where things did start to get quite nasty. And it wasn't until you really started getting back above it where you started your bull run. So fair enough, something to be aware of. Anyways, over here, yes, this does not look healthy to me. It does not look good. I think you'd be very hard pressed to find many analysts or many traders who'd say like, oh, wow, that's a bullish pattern. It's like I'm not quite sure about that, man. But what I could say is, as long as you're holding above this guy right here, you can make the argument for it, I suppose. So again, it's going to take a while for that to even break, anyways, because we just started this 3-day dildo. So we still got another couple days. Yeah, we got another couple days on this one anyways, so to both open and close the dildo below, it would take quite some time. If we put on the 200 simple moving average, however, though, which is less important to me, we have actually both opened and closed 1, 2, 3, and 4 dildos below there now. Again, going back to 2014, this is the only other time we've actually ever both opened and closed a dildo below it. And very similar to the 200 exponential, but you can see that the 200 exponential actually what is more powerful. The 200 simple got above it, and it did kind of do its job, but it wasn't too good on getting the other end over here. So the 200 simple is kind of like a it's like a troll. It's like it doesn't really get things as good, but it's it kind of gives you an idea of what the 200 exponential is likely to do. But hey, as long as price action is right here, the 200 exponential is not going anywhere. But that's also as long as price action is here. So again, be aware of that. 12-hour over here, 12-hour still being held back by the 20-minute exponential. All oscillators on our 12-hour are kind of gaining momentum to the upside, trying to reach for the bullish zone. Let's see how it reacts around there. RSI over here, trying to get out of trying to get into the more neutral zone, out of the bearish zone. It doesn't look too strong to me, but lower time frames do look like they kind of may. 10-hour stochastics over here, which I put a lot of weight on, this price action just doesn't look too strong to me as a problem. It needs to go back to the goddamn gym, don't you, Bitcoin? But yeah, going over to 3-hour as well. 3-hour did just cross the upside, so that's been a pretty damn good tell recently. So I think that we probably do have another try up to around 63.60, and my opinion would probably be that it fails, but hey, I don't trade my fucking opinion. I trade technical analysis. So what would I be doing? Hey, if you break 63.60, I get fucking long. No problem. By the same token, if you break 63.30, I mean, if you really want to take a trade, then then you actually got the trade. Well, you actually got the trade yesterday that we talked about. We got rejected right here, just like we said it was likely. And again, I'm not saying this to be arrogant. I'm saying this so that you can, go do this and do this yourself and reproduce this yourself and do this as a living if you want, if that's your desire. And then we come back down to this next support right over here, which admittedly is only like 40-50 bucks lower, but hey, it got there. And then you bounce off that, and I think we're gonna probably take another try at this area over here. 64.60. Am I taking a long of that? Fuck no. Again, all I'm doing is playing the options over here. That's all I really care about right now. And I'd imagine that we probably do put in some divergence around there. Overall though, The big levels haven't changed at all whatsoever. Well, I mean, except for the except for the upside. The downside's been pretty steady at around 6100 to 6150, if you want to call it that. As long as you're above there, don't really want to be holding like the big short, so to say. By the same token, the upside resistance, it would be very interesting to break 6630ish area. That would be an interesting thing. It would be a change behavior, and the next kind of big things to be doing would be to break the 200 exponential and 200 simple. But I really want to be seeing a higher high over 7400. That would be where I really start to get very interested in things. Anyways, let's get on and check out Dixie over here. I know we looked at it yesterday, but Dixie. Nope, this is the wrong one. That's a Dow Jones. Sorry. Dixie over here. Yeah. Okay. Having a reaction off the yellow 20-minute exponential. We spoke about how it's likely to come down because you're getting all kinds of bearish divergence going on along here. Stochastics also crossing down as well in the more crazy zone. But finding initial support off the 20-minute exponential. And again, we spoke about this as well. That hey, while it was likely to come down, it's not necessarily appropriate to get super bearish on it until we really start opening and closing doors below that 20-minute exponential, which we have not done. So hey, as long as you're kind of around here, it does still offer up the potential for kind of carrying it onwards and upwards. But again, needs to prove itself now. It needs to prove itself, as to me, pressure is on now. It is kind of like a pressure on situation. I'm not a big fan of the way that the weekly closed over here, kind of as a doji-ish type dildo. Weekly Stokes, though, look good to me. Weekly Stokes do say that we're going to carry it onwards and upwards. Most likely we are gaining momentum. Weekly RSI looks... yeah, weekly RSI looks okay as well. Gonna reach for the bullish zone as well. So, overall, I do think that you get another try higher. But it really needs to prove itself now, is what I'm trying to say. And again, as long as you're above $96.06, I give it the benefit of the doubt, and I generally like it. But the second that you start smashing through that, I don't like it, and I'd want to get probably short on it. I don't really have much else to say about it other than that. Let's go over here and check out SPYs. Do the quick SPY wrap up before the week starts. Again, a rejection of the 200 exponential. Again, doing exactly what we said it was likely to do this past couple weeks. Again, this is where I actually come from. But again, I'm not trying to say this to be arrogant or make anyone think that I'm cool or anything like that. No. Here's the information. You can do this as a living. It's just as easy. It's just as easy. It's just experience. That's all. But we put in a bear flag right here. Hit the measure move on that. Basically, bounce up off here, which exactly what we said that we were gonna do. You put in this nice reversal-ish type dildo over here. Not in the best volume. I would like to have seen more. This is not indicative of an ultimate low to me. But I do count this reaction as a reaction off the 100 exponential right over here. I do think that we probably bounce this next week and maybe fill out this area, maybe even test 279 again. But overall, higher time frame's quite bearish. Monthly over here is very bearish. I think the monthly is probably going to come down over time, but it's a monthly, right? You're getting bearish divergence on your stochastic, rejecting the bullish zone and opening down once again. So to me, it's likely to come down, but like we just said, it's a monthly, so it could take its time. 240 wouldn't be out of the question. 212 wouldn't be out of the question either. But time is that X factor. Let's go check out the longs and the shorts of Bitcoin right now. God damn it, my internet's not working. Just kidding. There it is. Okay, so longs and shorts over here, both paying very very small rates. Longs paying 0.013%, so they really haven't. They're paying slightly higher than the shorts. But neither is. This is not high either way. Short paying a little bit less. We do have about a little over 3,000 hedged shorts. So how many open shorts do we really have? Well, do we really have 24,000 shorts right now? Holy shit. Wow, shorts must have got wrecked. Let's actually go look at this really quick. I did not check this one today. Let's go over here. Yeah, wow. Okay, so that is very, 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 very interesting. Shorts have been falling off a cliff for about a week straight now, and price action has not really been going up. So to me, that's saying that the bears are kind of reloading. Bulls are putting a little bit of positions on down here as well, but we don't really see like that major fucking interest in throwing on these long positions right now. So that would be a little bit more towards a bear camp to me. Again, shorts paying a very small rate as well, so they have plenty of dry ammo to go in dry if they want to. And again, longs over here are actually around 23,000. So really, if you take out the hedge shorts, there's actually more longs than shorts right now by about a couple thousand. So again, not really, no position, no one side is like really under super big pressure right here, but it does offer up the opportunity for one side to get attacked. So when all these people are talking about fucking, we're gonna get squeezed, guys, we have 30,000 shorts who are gonna get squeezed. I hate those shorts, bad bears. You've been a bad bear. Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, it's very difficult to have a squeeze when you're in a fucking bear market, huh? Because the bears are in control just by the nature of it. So when it comes down to it, bears are kind of just rushing price around is what it looks like to me. Letting go of their positions is how we're getting these small up moves, and if they decide to put them back on, well, that's not gonna probably end up too well for the bulls. Okay, so let's go close this bitch out with Mr. Beaterall. No, let's actually go look at the total market cap again. Is this a falling wedge? I would say probably not, but this over here, if we actually get rid of this area over here, this actually does look like a symmetrical triangle to me. This does operate like one, and we are testing the upside resistance of one. So are we at the top of a rally right now, or are we about to break out? Is a real question. So again, if we were to break out, well, that would actually be quite positive, as measured move would be pointing us all the way here to about 257 billion market cap, although it's historically speaking quite low. And if we break to the downside, well, that would actually be pointing towards, if you do want to make this as a trend line over here, which I don't really believe it is. But I just wanted to kind of show the confluence with that area. And actually, if I adjust this would be about a little bit more right. Yeah, there we go. I kind of do like that. Then that would agree with this area right over here. So if you were to break to the downside, but again, need to see a dildo close above about 210 billion, or below 204 billion. So again, whichever one happens first, but looking like we're going to test the upside first. So as you'd imagine, when the charts are looking like this. Okay, so we got Mr. Beaterall over here. I still believe that Mr. Beaterall is working on some sort of symmetrical triangle going on. Again, though, symmetrical triangles have not been playing out like too well on anything recently. So a lot of the time what'll happen is actually you'll break this out to the upside, and then you'll hit the next resistance and then be stopped there. So that'd be kind of like somewhere right around here. But hey, as long as Mr. Beaterall on BitMexico is below 202.5, pressure's on. But hey, if you were to break it out and break above about 202.5, 203, then the measure move would be actually putting you all the way up here towards 269, which is a great number, and 69 cents, which is the even better number. Or if we break it out to the downside, well, that'd be pointing you all the way down to about 130-ish area. So again, a nice trade to be made either way, as we do kind of wind this whole bitch up. Daily soaks are pointing up, so that's nice. Trying to get out of the bear zone, so I do like that. That'd be more positive as we do kind of head towards we're kind of in the middle, but we're kind of heading towards resistance. So I'm really trying to build it up for the bulls over here. RSI trying to get out of the bear zone as well, so that'd be a positive thing, obviously. And all these things actually, our oscillators actually do say up over here. Again, my proprietary stochastic over here saying, hey, it ain't too bad. So again, I'd be looking at this, and if I was just looking at Mr. Beaterall, I'd be saying, I think that we got some upside here. But again, it's whatever Bitcoin does is what the market does, typically speaking. I think most people have experienced that. At least that's been my experience in this market. So let's just kind of wrap it up with Mr. Bitcoin over here. Mr. Bitcoin still struggling to kind of keep it above 63.30. But hey, as long as you're kind of holding on by tooth and nail above 63.30, I think we could very easily get another test of 63.60. That's the resistance. If you can break above that area, then you would actually have to deal with 6,400 actually, quite honestly. But 64.60 would be the next big resistance of that prior range that I'd be looking at. So again, overall, I don't like the hesitation here. If I'm just giving my opinion, if I want to get off the technical analysis and give a little bit more opinion than anything, I'd say I don't like the hesitation here. Overall, things just feel kind of weak and sluggish, and I think really best case scenario for bulls is like you just keep on going sideways. But hey, all higher time frames still bearish. Nothing's really changed there. Weekly's probably not going to close too well unless you'd really have to close above about 6,500 for the weekly to start to look okay. Or sorry, I should say good. It'd look good above there. But right now, not really too much. Again, just showing the historical volatility of Bitcoin. This thing is just taking a fucking nosedive. There ain't nothing trading right now. Absolutely nothing trading. But that's great if you're going to be trading options, because then you can just wait. You can just let this shit decay and just fucking sit back and get paid if you can get your positions in. Which I wanted to get 20 contracts on both sides so I could be doing 40 contracts cumulatively, but apparently no. Just I really hesitated because I thought that we were gonna have a move earlier, and I thought that the volatility was gonna explode, but instead, nope, just more tightening of the range. So I would have been better off just being aggressively short all these things. I mean, these fucking 7,000 calls right here, I was selling these for like $200 just like a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. They've been absolutely crushed. Absolutely fucking crushed. I mean, I might just close these and roll these to the next expiration pretty soon. Okay, so let's get back over here and let's just wrap this up one more time. Sorry, I do apologize about that. Getting sidetracked by my own stupid nature of myself, if that even makes sense. But hey, if you can break above 63.60, don't really see much stopping you from technically 64, but I'd really be looking towards 64.60. If you can break above there, I would be looking towards 66.30ish area, which is now actually officially where the overall downtrend resistance line would be coming around. Although I'd argue that that is no longer the prior interpretation, or sorry, the main interpretation, the primary interpretation is the word that I'm looking for, of this chart. If you do break to the downside over here, below 63.60, don't see much holding you up from about 62.80, which is a great trade. If you can't sense the sarcasm, well, I would probably not take this trade. If you break that area, then there ain't much holding you up from 62.35. And if you break that area, then 61.50 is the next big area to be aware of. So again, 61.50, the big area, in my opinion, that, hey, as long as you're above that area, I think that, you could still make the argument that maybe bulls do kind of pull this one through. But if you do break it, not going to look too damn good. So again, that's going to do it for today. Hope this one finds you well. Hope you have a great Sunday, praying to whichever God that you so desire. Although Goat Jesus would be my God of preference, but I don't discriminate against anyone. And Goat Jesus loves you. Although Bear Jesus and Bull Jesus both hate you because they don't even want to fucking do anything for the last few months. But Goat Jesus will always love you, and Goat Jesus loves the options. Okay, guys. So again, that's going to do it for today. Look forward to seeing you guys in a live stream near you soon as well, and hope that your Sunday is just the best Sunday that it could ever possibly be. Like, actually the best possible Sunday that you could ever even have in your life, until you have the next Sunday, and then you could even have a better Sunday. So then you have something to look towards. Anyways, okay, that's going to do it for today. Take care, and I'll see you guys soon.